Shalom, 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 Shabbat, shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. All praise to the Most High. We just this Aliyah with the servants.
Shalom, your brother Elijah back again, man. We back here to do a Sabbath service, man.
Shalom, it's your brother Yash, soldier.
Khan. You said what now?
I just said soldier.
Khan, all praise the Most High. So, hey, today we get into, right, from captivity to civil unrest. Because we got to understand that the things that's going on in the world as we know it is drawing us nearer and nearer to civil war, or aka civil unrest. We have to understand that, and also we have to understand the causes of civil unrest or civil war, and also we have to understand as well that this is not a new thing. There has been civil war that's been going not just in America. There are civil war that happened in Spanish, civil war between the English. It was also civil war also in the Bible. So we're going to get that information, and also we're going to bring out some scriptures, some videos, and show that how so that today in today's society that is drawing nearer than what we believe. And we're going to start off with the classic precept with Ecclesiastes 1:9. Ecclesiastes 1:9. Let's get that. And brothers, if y'all have any points, feel free to do y'all thing.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The thing that have been, it is that which shall be.
Right? So we have to understand it says the thing that have been is that which shall be. Keep going.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And I'm gonna read this in the NLT because it's kind of it's cold, but it's very simple too. It says this Ecclesiastes 1:9 in the NLT. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. So we hear about civil unrest, civil war. This is not a new thing in the earth. History repeats itself. It's bound to. We know this. We know this from a worldly standpoint, and we also know this from a biblical standpoint. It's all been done before, and it's going to be done again. We have to understand that. Okay? So now let's deal with the word civil war so we can kind of get to understand what it is. So I'm going to pull up this definition as well. Pull this up right quick. So it says civil war meaning. It says this: a war between citizens of the same country or nation. The citizens of the same country or nation. It says, I'm gonna read this right here. It says a civil war is a war between organized group within the same state or country. The aim of one side may be to take control of the country or a region to achieve independence of a region or to change government policies. I want us to understand that, because as we go on, you see that from a historical standpoint, this happened to where somebody wanted to take control of a region or a certain place, and then we're gonna see now, fast forward, that it's gonna change for what? Government policies. Instead of them trying to take control, they're trying to change. They're gonna end up in a fashion, some shape or form, to change government policy. It has happened before in the 1800s in the Civil War that happened in America. So now what we're going to do is, because I want to get an account so we can see and show y'all that there's nothing new under the sun. And the best way to show brothers and sisters that there is nothing new under the sun is to give an account biblically, historically, of a civil war situation. So let's go there. And what we're going to go is we're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 15, and we'll start at verse 5.
This is the book of ready. This is the book of
Huh,
First
go ahead.
Kings. This is the book of First Kings, chapter 15 and verse 5. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life,
Mm-hmm.
save only in the matter of Uriah.
All right, right.
There
Now the
was
reason why they're
war
bringing out that we started
Jeroboam
here.
all.
Oh, you keep going. Just keep going. Just read it says it was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. So I want to bring this out is because at this very time you had. So this is after the time of King David. This is after the time of Solomon. Because after the time of Solomon, you had the kingdom of Israel split between northern kingdom and southern kingdom. So at this very time, you had fighting between Israel, which would be a form of what? Civil war. The nation of Israel was fighting with each other. There was a groups, organized groups that was trying to take control over the region or another region, right? So let's read that again, verse 6.
This is verse 6. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life.
Mm-hmm. Keep
Now
going.
the rest of the acts, now the rest of the acts of Abijam, did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
And all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah?
Mm-hmm.
And
So
there was war. Sorry.
go ahead.
And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam.
So the reason why I want to bring this out is because so we can understand that during the time of our forefathers, we had civil war going on within us. It was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam. And when they had sons, their sons was going at it. Right. And that's why you hear it says there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. This is not talking about Jeroboam the first. Okay, this is the other Jeroboam. But it's for you to understand that there is nothing new on the sun. Even Israel dealt with civil war. We as a nation, we have dealt with civil war. Now let's go down to I think that's actually the end on that. Now, hold on, let's go to verse 20. Jump down to verse 20. Matter of fact, start at the verse 19.
It's verse
Matter of
19.
fact, like it. Go to 17.
It's verse 17.
16. 16.
16.
Yeah.
This is the book of First Kings, chapter 15 and verse 16. And there was war between Asa and Bahasha, king of Israel, all their days.
So
And
again, we
Bahasha,
seen there was but we seen that there was war between Jeroboam, Rehoboam. We seen there was war against Amijab and Jeroboam. Now we seeing it's war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel. Keep going.
and Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah
Mm-hmm.
and built Ramah, that he might
Mm-hmm.
not suffer any to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah.
So here again, you have civil war going on within the realm of the Israelites, God's chosen people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. When our forefathers was dwelling in the land after the time of Solomon, they had constant wars that they had going on between one another. Okay, so let's keep going.
It's verse 18. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Lord and the treasures of the king's house, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. And King
Keep going.
Asa sent them to Benadad, the son of Tarimon, the son of Hezon, king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying, there is a league between me and thee, and between my father and thy father. Behold, I have sent unto thee a present of silver and gold. Come and break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me.
Okay, so stop right there. So the point of all this is to understand that when it comes to civil war, and when we see that America is no better than Israel, I'm gonna tell you like that. America is no better than Israel. Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt is no greater than Israel. Just like it happened to us in our homeland, it's gonna happen to this place just as well. So the thing is, well, what causes this tension, the civil war? One of the main things is what? Division. One of the main things when it comes to civil war is division. So I'm gonna get a precept on division, and then the brother Elijah, he got some videos that he's gonna show and show brothers and sisters to give examples that's going on right now to show the division going on. So let's get Matthew chapter 3 and verse 24. I mean, not Matthew, but Mark 3. Mark 3 and 24. It's like Mark 3 and 24.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
So it said, if a kingdom is divided against itself, what is the division against itself? Is division. When you have one party in the kingdom and another part of the kingdom, they have opposing ideas. Because within the kingdom, in the realm of a kingdom, they're supposed to be on one accord. When David was in rulership, it was in one accord. And even then, he had times where there was civil war within him between his son Absalom. But a better example would be when the time during King Solomon. During the time of King Solomon, Israel was on one accord. That's how a kingdom is supposed to be ran. Even in the kingdom that's to come, everybody gonna be on one accord. The kingdom of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua, his son being the king, everyone, all the Israelites are gonna be on one accord. It's not going to be any division or somebody saying, well, this person is better than me or greater than me or he this, he that. All of them will be on one accord. It said that the law will be in our inward parts, in our minds. But keep going.
Verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
It cannot stand.
And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but
Stop right
have
there.
an end. Sorry.
So it's saying, hey, if Satan come against Satan, if Satan's house is divided, it can't stand. And we're seeing right now in this example of Satan's kingdom or his house, they're beginning to be divided. There are opposing ideas and opinions that's going to cause this place to fall apart. Thus, that's going to bring on civil war or civil unrest as we know it. Now, you got it, Elijah.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah, it's a lot of civil unrest going on in the last days, man. With South Africa, a lot of people not aware of what's going on in South Africa. South Africa's kicking Nigerians out. They all the same people, but the white man has found his way over in Africa and separated our people there, and also America has been divided. It's always been divided. I'm gonna give you a little something. I'm gonna show y'all a little something about what's going on in America. A lot of people not taking heed to. Get me Daniel 2:42 real quick, y'all, while I get this. Because this place is highly divided. All right. We have to be on one accord. And the one accord with the 12 tribes of Israel is you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, y'all got to come together and serve your God, which is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But all this stuff has to take place before the end comes. But let me bring this out, King. There's one
It's the book
video
of
here.
Daniel.
Hold on before they get that precept. I want to show this civil unrest going on up in South Africa, because a lot of people just think this stuff is going on only in America. They only think this stuff going on only in America, and America is just one of the places where they hide a lot of the things that's going on the news. So let's get this what's going on over there. All right, this is in South Africa, and they kicking out their brothers from Nigeria and Ghana, saying they taking away jobs, and we know that's not the truth. All right, so let me play a little bit of this video so y'all can see this civil unrest taking place in the country where Israelites dwell. All right, stand by. I want to do fair use. Fair use. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and then you can comment on this. Aliyah, once you see it, it might bring you back to something. But I'm gonna play this.
2 weeks left to get out of South Africa. The deadline's been set by protesters after waves of anti-migration marches and violent scenes swept across the country.
Our government allowing our country to be flooded by groups from all over the world.
Some people have been killed. And there have been reports of vigilante groups carrying out xenophobic attacks. 4 countries have already sent...
And these are brothers against brothers, all right? And you already know who's in the midst of this, all right? We already know the white man has came in there and turned our brothers against each other, but we're going to keep playing.
Aeroplanes and buses.
I got a point too, King. If you haven't been paying attention to xenophobia as well, did you not know that there are actually it's a Chinaman in that region that's claiming to be a part of that portion of South Africa, and they're pushing other Africans out of the region, and they're saying, okay, that's a part of the whole xenophobia thing. This is actually very big in that land. That's a spirit that you got this going. To keep going.
All praises.
To get their nationals out of South Africa.
This could be the match that lights the fire.
So what started all of this? Is there really a migrant crisis in South Africa? And what are those in power doing in response? Here's the breakdown.
South Africa has repatriated 2,745 foreigners.
Anti-migrant protests, some of which have turned violent.
The organizers want jobs reserved for locals.
Emergency flights to escape growing xenophobic attacks in South Africa.
It's crazy that they said this is the cause of this civil unrest and the uproars. They feel like what? The immigrants is taking the jobs. They feel like there's not enough jobs and things of this nature. What other place does that sound like? America. That literally sounds like America, aka Babylon. But you keep going, King. That's crazy.
Shalaka, King. That's the same playbook they pulling with our brothers in ICE, with the Northern Kingdom brothers here in America. We already know this is the same playbook for the so-called white man, because the so-called white man got thrown out of South Africa. So they're using protest and militia groups to come back in there and try to separate the people and cause civil unrest. That way the white man can come back in there and take control of South Africa. But that's the whole agenda of it. It's always the evil and the wicked behind these things. But give me Job 9:24 before you get that Daniel 2:24. Give me Job 9:24. Because the wicked is all over the earth. All right. And we already know who the main wicked is. We already know who's causing this civil unrest. We already know who the Most High gonna put the spirit on to get this civil unrest going. All right, read that.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
He said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And we know the wicked is the other nations. And the so-called Edomites and the white man is the number one person of doing wicked on the earth. All right, so they know, you already know a few months ago, King, the white man being kicked out of South Africa. Once they got kicked out, they claimed that they came to America. Trump bought them on planes, came back to America. They want their land back. They want to come back and take over South Africa. So they got the money and the means to bring in Nigerians and then causing friction between brethren. And that's what they usually do. And that's what they're doing in here in America, and ICE and the border in Mexico, because Black, Hispanic, and Native American, we never had a problem with each other. The only problem starts when the white man come in and start telling lies, start spreading lies and deceit. All right, so let me get going on this.
Right now,
I had a point, King. What you just said something though, like how he said he come in spreading his lies and deceit. And real quick, I'm gonna read this real fast. I'm gonna read this myself real fast. I'm gonna read it real fast in Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16, because that's one of the things that the Lord hates, man. The Lord hates that type of behavior, that type of mentality where you want to sow lies, discord, and deceit. The Most High hates that. And that's also a part of why this place is going to get torn apart. But this is Proverbs 6 and verse 16. It says, "These 6 things do the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief, a false witness that speak of lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren." And that's what you see going on. The so-called white man is sowing discord among brethren, among people that are related to each other. You know, it's the same people, and cause them to hate one another, to call to attack one another, to choose violence on one another. But I yield with that. That's crazy.
All praises, King. Let's keep going on it.
Africa is a hostile place if you weren't born there. Protest groups have sprung up around the country, forcing hundreds from their homes, and some have even been killed. Citizen-led groups have issued a public warning demanding that all undocumented migrants leave South Africa by the 30th of June.
Prioritize the safety, security, and socio-economic well-being of South Africans.
All right, let's not get it twisted, because a lot of our brothers and sisters in America think that these South Africans are not Israelites. There are Israelites. Look at these people. If they came to America and spoke straight up English or Spanish, you'll think they are a Negro in America. So a lot of our people, you know, they'll look at it and think Africa, that these people not the 12 tribes of Israel. They are. They have been tribalized. That's why a lot of them pick they in the Bantu tribes. They be in these other Aruba tribes. These all Israelites. All right. So a lot of our people, they be thinking these Hamites. These are not Hamites. And they look more like how we look in America. All right. So let's keep going.
We are here to fight against the foreign nationals that are taking advantage of our economical freedom. We are being labeled as xenophobic, and that is not a point. We are emphasizing fighting our constitutional right in terms of our freedom of expression.
The government is pushing back against the mostly peaceful protests while acknowledging it needs to strengthen.
Hey, Aliyah, if you can remember, this president was, when he came to the White House that time, Donald Trump really tried to humiliate him. If I could find that video of that, when he went to the White House, because of the whites, they was kicking the white settlers out that was taking over stuff, land in South Africa. He came to the White House to try to tell them, like, hey, that ain't what's going on. There's only 1 or 2 accounts of somebody, white people been, got beat up or whatnot in the protest. But America took it as if all the South Africans was taking over all the white people in South Africa. That's why they had a big migration. I can find that, but I'm gonna let that play while I'm gonna look for it. But it was he tried to make these South African brothers look bad, man. But let me find that. I'm gonna play this.
Than immigration rules.
We will and must not allow groups to use the legitimate concerns of South Africans to destabilize our country through inciting lawlessness and violence. We will strengthen our immigration laws and policies.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to record, just hit rec.
fair use. But I will find that video of them showing
40,000 undocumented migrants have been arrested this year for breaching its Immigration Act. And deportations have gone up by nearly 300% over the last 5 years. Ghana, Mozambique, Nigeria and Zimbabwe have also been organising returns by air or bus over the last...
All right, so we already know that the so-called white men have divided the land of Africa up and try to divide as one. They know that South Africa has a seaport that's close to the Strait of Hormuz, and that's close to this port that they're trying to take over. That's really what they want this South Africa for, because they can use the ports off the side of South Africa. All right, so a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians are moving to South Africa, which they've been doing for years. But when the white man don't want them there, he calls civil unrest. But I land the plane there, and I can show y'all that confrontation he had with the United States president, Babylon the Great president, Donald Trump, the devil, how he tried to push that whole narrative of the South African president being xenophobic. All right, I can get that real quick. But if you got anything, go ahead, King.
I'm gonna hop in there real fast, and that's crazy that we seeing these things, but that type of energy is going to be coming to a Babylon as well. We see that it's going on over there. Don't think that just because it's going over there in Africa, that's not going to happen here. Do not think that, because according to prophecy, according to the Bible, which we're going to get later, we will show, brothers and sisters, how that very thing will happen here. Now, one of the other reasons of how something like this ends up happening, civil unrest and things like that, a lot of it got to do with pride. A lot of it has to do with pride. Pride is a big agent when it comes to division, civil unrest, civil war. That's a big ingredient that you got to have. Somebody that's saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna let you be better than me. I'm not gonna let you have more than me. I'm not gonna have you do whatever." That's pride. When you start to lack humility, even if you lack humility in your marriage, that can cause division. If you lacking humility amongst your congregation or your brotherhood, that could cause division. So how much so when it comes to a nation? How much so when it comes to a country, a state, a government? If you're lacking humility and you built off that energy of I'm the top dog, everybody ain't the top dog. Somebody got to submit somewhere. So let's get Proverbs 16 and verse 18. Proverbs 16 and verse 18. Let's get that real fast. We have to understand this is the main ingredient when it comes to civil war. Is that dang pride.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 18.
Yep.
It says, pride, let me say it again. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Pride goeth before destruction.
So before you have
before
you have that destruction aspect, it starts with the pride. It starts with the conversation being had that we're not gonna let this go down. We're not finna get this up. We're not finna let that slide. That's use that pride instead of saying, you know what? Let me just not do this. Let me just calm down. Let me let them have it. I'm gonna be the bigger person. See, what's going to happen in America is going to be that pride. We already see the division right now. We see what's going on when you have the radical Republicans. You see what's going on when you have the radical Democrats. You see what's going on when you have the radical deep South Edomites, the real country bunking Edomites. They don't play that, and they have a lot of pride about themselves. You know that good old boy America spirit. And they not gonna let this country just go this way and that way without them doing what they gonna do. They even said it themselves. I've seen it. I've heard Edomites out their mouth say they'll do something before this. If they try to take their guns, something gonna happen. If they let something some type of policy happen, they said they're gonna do what they're gonna do. That's what the so-called white man said out his mouth. Multiple have said this, but again, the point is that before the reason why destruction is coming is because of pride, because of the lack of humility. So that's why you're going to see this place fall by civil unrest. That's why you're going to see this place fall by civil war. Read that again, Proverbs 16:18.
Verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
So before you fall, and understand this, it's the Most High that's putting in that pride in their spirit. Just like with Pharaoh. Pharaoh was prideful. He said, I ain't finna let the children of Israel go. That's the same spirit that the Most High is putting in the government of America, Babylon. He making them prideful. He putting a haughty spirit on them, because that's a part of their destruction. Now I got one more. Get Proverbs 29 and verse 23. Proverbs 29 and verse 23. So we got to understand, when it comes to civil war and civil unrest, there's a recipe for it. Part of the recipe is division. The other part of the recipe is pride. Now there's going to be a little other different things that's going to go along with it, but these are the two main causes of civil unrest and civil division. But you got it. Go ahead, can you read that?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit.
The humble in spirit. So a man's pride is going to bring him low. Look at, it's all the name. America the Great. That's pride. They take pride in the name. They take pride in the flag. They take pride in the national anthem. They take pride in this thing. Believe it or not. Oh, you gonna stand. You better not sit when the national anthem start playing. You better put your hand over your heart. They take pride in this country. And part of that pride is going to be part of their destruction as well. We have to understand that. Even, for example, how do you think the Civil War even kicked off? The Civil War that happened before, how do you think that kicked off? It started with pride and division. And I got a video I'm going to just show real fast of that pride and division so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. So let me go ahead and share this. Now, this is fair use. Fair use. Fair use.
To new states. No, in the West, when it was settled and carved up into new states, Northerners wanted territories in the West admitted as free states, while Southerners wanted them to become slave states. In 1854, a new political party called the Republicans didn't want slavery in the Western territories. In 1860, their candidate...
And it's so crazy now. Peep game. Again, this is why the Civil War happened. There was division over the Western states, over whether it was going to be used for slavery or whether it's going to be used for non-slavery. And that's just a better term. And the reason why they said that, because you had to understand, the northern states were mostly industrial. They were industrial states, while in the South was more so farming states. So it was really about, dang, well, hey, whatever states that we about to get next in the Western region, we want to set up how we been making our money. And we make our money industrially wise, the West gonna be industrialized. Hell, we making our money because it's all about money. It ain't because about, well, if a Negro free or not. It's, well, how can I make money over there on this unclaimed land? And that's what it was about. But the point is, it started with division. Just like how the precept said, if his house is divided, if Satan is against Satan, it cannot stand. We've seen it happen. Understand, it's going to happen again. Is it going to be about the same thing? Of course not. It's not going to be about the same thing. But the point is, it's going to be some division. it's going to be some pride. And a side note, it's crazy how most Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, are Democrats now. At one point in time, the Democrats ain't give a dang if you was a slave or not. Just a side note, though. But I just kind of want to bring this video out so you can see and visualize how this caused the civil war that happened before. It started with opposing opinions and division, and nobody yielded to the other, which is pride. And there you go. You end up having the civil war. But I yield with that.
Shalaki King, I got I'm bringing a little thing out about what you just said. The Northern was more industrial, but at the same time, they was big on Catholicism in the North, and the South was big on Baptist. So they were separated on a religion standpoint too. So the white man up north, they was big on those big cathedrals. If you go up the north in Pennsylvania, New York, they got those big cathedral Catholic churches up there. And then in the South, they got all in the regular Baptist churches. So they was always separated on a religion standpoint, on a political standpoint, and an economic standpoint, because they wanted slaves down south. So it always been a division here. It always been. I had to make that point.
God, that's a mighty point. God, I ain't know that. That's a good point, though.
I never thought about that.
Remember that video? Was you able to find that video?
I got that video right here. Stand by. Let's start what you got going on. Yeah, this is the video between Donald Trump and the South African president, which Trump was accusing him. You know how Trump do, man. He be pushing false narratives, man. And we got to bring this out, man, right here. Let me turn it up. Fair use on the. It's just a short. It's only a minute, but he gonna try to make this South African president look bad. You know, he always showed up his pride on another world leader when they come to the White House. He did it with Ukraine president, and he did it with the South African. Anytime a black Israelite come in there, he gonna try to show his power and his pride, like you say. All right, let me hit this.
And that's what we're going to be discussing today. We have thousands of people that want to come into our country, and they're white farmers, and they feel that they're going to die.
I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet.
The whole issue was they claimed that it was a genocide of white people in damn South Africa. That was the whole reason why he came to the White House.
These three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you.
At some point, there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary.
Our government policy is completely against what he was saying.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white...
Hold on, let's stop right there, Aliyah. Who took the land? The white people was not in South Africa. They went into South Africa and took land. Now he's talking about the people, the natives that's been there, took land from the white farmers. Come on, man. You see how the dragon be lying, man.
White farmer. So crazy. It's funny how they love to play the victim. It's funny they can come in and take somebody else's land. Now it's a problem when they want to get now the people want to get their land back. It's crazy. Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's hypocrisy, man. It's at its finest. And then he caused that division because after he left the White House, it started a whole issue in South Africa. That's when that brother on brother crime started, because they drew up a narrative to cause division between the two, locals in that nation. All right, so I'm gonna keep going on. It's almost done.
Nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people.
We have a rule,
and that's the dang on truth. You got to think about that too. Only in America, we have a lot of unaliving us brother on brother crime. That was going on in South Africa too. It wasn't no all blacks going against all white farmers. That was something that the White House came up with to push a narrative to cause division in that country. That way they can put them white farmers back on the boat and send them back over there to that country that they could take over. So I yield.
Esau is a funny hunter, right?
Yeah, they use the same playbook though. They use that same playbook with our people with the 12 tribes with voting. The same playbook when it come down to Democrat and Republic. They cause division doing that, and they also cause division. What I'm gonna show y'all later. If you want me to get this next video, this is the main thing. It's gonna cause an issue right now that a lot of people ain't paying attention. But I caught it in the spirit. Let me grab it real quick.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm finna set the stage for you, King, because we gotta figure out too. What did all this spirit of division and hatred for your brother? You want to be against your brother? What did the so-called white man get it from? What spirit do they carry on? They carry that Cain spirit. We finna get it.
Okay.
We finna get it. This is the beginning of division. Cain against his brother. Pride, envy. That's the same spirit of so-called white man. And that's going to be the downfall of so-called white man. That envy. So let me get this precept in Genesis chapter 4 and 4. Matter of fact, we got to start off at 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, start off at 2.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep. But Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Okay, let's keep going.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Right, which that's not biblical. So just know he's in error, but keep going.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
And why was that? Is because when you read the book of Leviticus, when you read the book of Exodus, when you read the book of Numbers, Deuteronomy, you find out about the type of offering that the Lord the Lord accepts. The type of offering that the Lord receives, the type of offering that's a sweet savor unto the Lord. And most times, out of all the times, the sacrifice that the Lord received were that of animal sacrifice. We have to understand that. So Cain and Abel both knew this, but Cain wanted to do what he wanted to do. That spirit of so-called white man already. I do what I want to do. I want to come to your land. I want to take your land. I'm gonna do that. I want to make you serve this God or that God. I'm gonna do that. They did it in the iconoclasm. We want everybody to believe that everybody in the Bible was white. There's nothing new under the sun. They got that same energy of I want to do what I want to do, regardless of what's right or what's wrong. Let's keep going.
This is verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? And if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted.
So stop right there. It's not like the Lord just did away with him. He said, well, hey, if you do well, won't you not be accepted? I'm giving you an opportunity. You can still do right. Yeah, I didn't accept the offer. But if you do well, you will be accepted. Keep going.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
Destruction lieth at the door if you do not do well. And this is why we have to understand that destruction is coming to this place. Why? Because of the sin, because of the hatred, because of the wickedness. That's what we have to understand. So because of these things, the Lord is going to break this place down eternally. because of the sin, the idolatry, and the hatred that the so-called white man, and not just him, but the rest of the nations that are in rulership in this society that they have for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep going.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Let's keep going.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
So stop right there. When we read biblically, who else thought to unalive their own brother? Let's get it. We get somewhere. We have to understand, where does this all come from? Who carries the same spirit as Cain? Let's go to Genesis chapter 37. Not 37. Let's go to 27, my bad. Yeah, Genesis chapter 27. Genesis chapter 27, and we'll start at. Bear with my laptop is moving slow, so I can get to my notes. But right here. So this Genesis 27, and start at verse 40. Genesis chapter 27, verse 40. Start right there.
God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
Right.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So it's letting you know now, it's giving you the setup, right? That Esau was blessed with the sword. At some point in time, he's going to serve his brother. But when he gets dominion, meaning when he gets into rulership, he's going to break the yoke off his brother's neck. I mean, off his neck. The yoke that his brother has on his neck, he's going to break it off. So what's going to happen is, not only is he let's see what the spirit that Esau had towards his very brother. Read verse 41.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him.
Now think about this now. Just like how Cain was so upset with Abel because the Lord was accepted with his sacrifice, the same spirit. Because think about this. Let's be very correct. Esau sold his birthright for more. We can't forget that. He literally gave Jacob his birthright. And he still hated his brother, even though that blessing was due to him in the first place. Let's keep going.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See that? That's the same spirit that Cain had is the same spirit of Esau. That spirit of, I want to slay my brother. I want to unalive my brother. So let's go ahead. Read verse 42.
Verse 42. And these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee.
So stop right there. So we understand when it comes to the spirit of hatred of your brother, it started with Cain, and Esau has that same spirit. So let's go back to Genesis chapter 4 and read verse 9.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is thy brother? Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
See that? You supposed to be your brother's keeper. Look how he talk. Look how this man is talking to God. Am I my brother's keeper? He getting slick. But when you understand that, you start to see the spirit behind Esau. He has the same spirit. These people, they get slick. They act as if they the Most High. They put themselves in situations like they the Most High. So now we understand, okay, where hatred for one's brother and division, discord, where that stem from. Now we're going to show you what it looks like now in 2026, because the brother, he's about to bring out some videos and show you visually how we know that they have the same spirit as they had before. Because understand this, when it comes to the so-called white man, they still having hatred for their own brothers. So these are, I'm gonna say it real quickly. So when it comes to so-called white man, you have the Germans, you have the Russians, you have the British, white Europeans, you have the ones that's in Africa, the ones in America, in the Amalek over there in the land right now. These are all Edomites. They are Edomites. They all so-called white men in some shape or form. But do they all get along? Heck no. They have division between one another. They have hatred against one another. And now we finna go and show that. But you got it, King.
Praise King. I had to put that picture up there just to show our listeners the hatred they still have to this day. You know, you still getting brothers getting bit by dogs with police dogs and police brutality going on to this day. And a lot of our people get docile with this thing and think that these people still don't hate our guts, man. This place, Babylon the Great, has always been separated. And God talked about this in Daniel. Give me Daniel 2:41 real quick, because he's talking about the last kingdom that's going to rule the earth. Daniel already spoke about the division what's going to take place within Babylon the Great. Read Daniel 2:41 real quick, and I'm going to get to that video.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes.
So he's talking about the feet and toes of the statue. There's the vision he had in his dream that he's seen of these kingdoms as they come down and get and fall. Read.
Parts of potters, clay. And part of
he
iron.
He said part of iron and part of clay. So he know this last kingdom is not going to mix. They was going to be separate. They was going to have two different makeups. Keep reading.
The kingdom shall be divided.
The kingdom should be what, King?
The kingdom shall be divided.
He said this last kingdom that's going to rule before Yahushua return is going to be divided. Keep reading.
But there shall be in it of the strength of.
Read that again, King. You broke up. Read that again, King. You broke up.
The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
Okay, it's going to have a strong army. It's going to have a strong politics. It's going to have a strong pushing out the words and media. Keep reading.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Read.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron.
So they was all separated. They was all divided. You had Democrat and Republic. You had Proud Boys on this side. You had the 12 tribes waking up on this side. You got the church going on doing their thing, Baptist religion. You got the Pentecostal. You got Muslim. You got all these entities in this nation, and it's causing a division. To go back to what my brother is saying, this last kingdom, God already knew this kingdom was going to be divided, and it was going to be easy for civil unrest to start. With all this stuff going on, all these principalities and all these elites in one area, and they got different beliefs, this thing is not going to stand for long. All right, but I yield, King. Y'all got anything before I get this next video?
Nah, you got it, King.
All praises. All right, I had to bring that picture out to show our listeners, hey, it's still a separation and division going on and hatred amongst our people.
You had some your eyes? No.
Nah, I'm good.
Right,
I mean, you see that with the Carmelo Anthony case, a lot of them starting to show their true colors. And if you like me, I like to read the comment section in a lot of videos, man. A lot of them are hiding behind these keyboards, man. But they in your face every day, but they hide behind them keyboards in the comment section.
Praise. Hey, January 6th was just a smidgen of civil unrest that's going to take place in America on Babylon the Great. And I'm just going to show how these white militias they're brewing up for war, man. Don't think that they not brewing up to take over, or if some get passed, they not going to go for it and they're going to fight. All right, so let's get a little bit of this. Fair use.
People have now been prosecuted. January the 6th is still very much contested territory in America. Returning to the scene over 2 years on, almost nothing is agreed by all sides. January the 6th has become emblematic of America's bitter April of 2020.
It's illegal to drive.
I just want to skip that part. I want to get to the point. But yeah, it's showing that the civil unrest on January 6th, how the Proud Boys and their people stormed the Washington, the White House. They stormed the White House, caused civil unrest. People died unalive. All kind of madness took place. All right, a lot of stuff took place, and now they're trying to pay these people, and they're gonna cause more civil unrest, trying to pay the people that committed those crimes. All right, so
without car insurance.
Let me get through this because these ads keep popping up, King. Ads want to pop up. Fair use. Let's skip these ads and get straight to the point. This is the civil unrest
among the members of the Wolverine Watchman militia group.
Wolverine Watchmen. What y'all know about Wolverine? Hairy and white. Wolverine? You heard what he said? Wolverine Watchmen.
Yeah.
I met them and others outside, armed to the teeth. This is Pete Musico, co-founder of the Wolverine Watchmen.
You have to intimidate your government to keep them in check. If not,
you heard what he said? You have to intimidate your government to keep them in check. We know that the spirit of Esau, man. Let me keep going. Ain't no black people getting no militia to go take over no government, man.
You look at Japan or China, you look at history. When you take away weapons, government has a chance to run you over.
You just talked about that, Aliyah. Where they saying they was taking away weapons. He said that, hey, the so-called white man don't want his weapons taken away.
Musico is now serving 12 years in prison for his part in a plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan. So state houses across America were already being targeted well before the 20.
Look at this, man. He said he's trying to kidnap the governor. That's only Esau, man. That's the spirit of Esau came back on the earth again, man. Just to do evil and unrest.
2020 election, and there was detailed intelligence warning that violent disorder was being planned at the US Capitol for January the 6th. So why weren't the authorities ready?
They were unprepared, and there's really not good reason for it. There were plenty of people, certainly outside the government, researchers who were, monitoring the planning that was going on in extremist social media circles and chat forums. Sometimes there's a lot of talk, but no real mobilization. But here you saw the logistic.
By the time I got here,
and that's just a small portion of these militias. You just heard that guy. He said they was the Wolverine Watchmen. It's many hundreds of other groups that's out there that's waiting for the green light to come when the Israelites get on the corner and they don't want them out there no more. And we start preaching the gospel. They're gonna mobilize these militia groups against us. This stuff is coming to play, man. All right, but I yield, King. If you want me to keep going on the video, you can go ahead and do your thing with it.
So if I could, I got something I want to show real quick though. Yeah, let me just pull this up. Let me see if it'll let me do it. If it let me do it, y'all, all praises. But if not, then I'm gonna just speak on it. Dang, hold on. Dang, that's Satan though. So, all right. So there is a matter of fact. Go ahead with your next one. So I want to show this. I want to bring this up. So you go ahead. But it's my document that I have is not doing right, bro. They're trying to make me subscribe. So just go ahead and pull what you got, and I'm gonna find a different route.
All right. This next one video here is a lot of our people not talking about it. A lot of Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans not talking about it, but I'm gonna read the bottom of it. It says this 12 days ago. This from the Pentagon. This is outrage from the GOP. This is within the government or whatnot. It says under the second Trump administration, the line separating the church and state is rapidly dissolving. The Pentagon, under Pete Hegseth leadership, has now removed 180 faiths from the list of recognized religions. So this gonna cause a uproar in the country, because we know that people have their own beliefs and religions, but we already know which God we pray to, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But it's gonna cause if you caught out there, you get deceived, you're gonna get caught up with this thing. It said within 22 Christian denominations remaining in the place. This counts as the Republican state continue to impose religion teaching in classroom, including the 10 Commandments, which they not teaching. They say they teaching the 10 Commandments, but well, ain't nobody keeping the damn Sabbath day. But let's listen to what they got to say about this, man.
You've written extensively about the separation of church and state and the rise of religious nationalism.
This is going to cause a lot of uproar within all these different denominations. And you cast some of them away after these people been doing it for so long. Some of these white folks, they gonna have uproar about it. So let me keep going.
Set the stage for us here. What we've seen on these issues within Trump's second term.
Well, I think that look, this is clearly an attempt to privilege a certain form of religion in our government and society, and to signal that there are other forms of religion that are not approved and that can be subject to discrimination and can be slighted.
So I want to show the graphic of the list of recognized religions at the Pentagon until they were recently.
This is the list right here of what they recognize at the Pentagon. The government recognized these religious denominations as what people should, religion they should jump into. You see, these are the ones they have on the books. All right. The 12 tribes of Israel, we are not in none of these denominations. All these are false religions put in place by the so-called white man and the other nations to deceive our people. But let me keep going.
Reduced. And this is a revised list now, but the irony of this is that in 2017, during the first Trump administration, that was when they ballooned the list to include the 220 different religions. So
that's madness. 220 different doctrines floating around about God of Abraham, Isaac, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our God. They took our God, his doctrine, and separated and made 200 denominations and religions out of it. Because they don't understand the Bible. Go ahead.
I was just gonna add, just to say, and this is from a country that say they love God. You know what I'm saying? They built off God. They standard is God. Come on now, but you got it, King. That's crazy.
Right. That's the confusion that they give to our people. That's the confusion that they give. It's only one God, all right, and the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
what is different now about the Trump Pentagon in 2026 than the Trump Pentagon in 2017 when they expanded the list of religions?
Right. And I want to point out that many faith groups, representatives of faith groups, are really understandably outraged. We have two senators from Utah, Mike Lee and John Curtis, who have condemned the move for not identifying the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as a
Right. So a lot of these pastors, these white pastors, you got to think about these white militia groups. They be in some of these denominations, man. So if you chop them down, you take them out, it's gonna cause an uproar. It's gonna cause civil unrest. Because the white man know that the black Messiah ain't his God. So he had to make up his own God. So if the government take away whatever they believe in, it's gonna cause them to have an uproar. But I had to bring that out. A lot of people not paying attention to that, but that all those denominations being stripped away from all these white religions, because he just said Latter-day Saints, they took that away, and the people having an uproar about it. And you don't think some of these malicious groups, these whites, believe in that stuff? And then once they stuff go down the drain, you don't think they're gonna go protest and have a all-out unrest and civil unrest? Yes, it's gonna happen. But I yield.
Con. So I got 2 videos, man, that I'm gonna show. I got 2 videos just to show that, like he just said, these white militia groups, they out here, man, they got their own religion. They believe in God, and they feel like, well, if their beliefs in God is threatened, what you think they gonna do? And one of their biggest threats is somebody let them know that, hey, so-called Jesus Christ who you worship is a so-called black man. You know what I'm saying? That's who you worship. The one that's coming back and giving salvation is a so-called black man, not a so-called white man. If you putting that inside their head, they see that as a threat. You telling me my God ain't a so-called white man just like me, same blood like me? So that's a threat to them. These Negroes thinking that they actually are God, because in their mind they feel like they God. They feel like God look like them. The God, you know what I'm saying? The God of the Bible, the people in the Bible is them. The whole time the people in the Bible look just like me and you. So when they start, as more and more of this information started to come out, because now they in the pickle, because now we know what the Messiah looked like. That's not the bad that he's so-called black man. So now you already know they feeling some type of way. And they hate to see a so-called, they hate to see a Hebrew Israelite coming. Oh, here they go, telling me that my God ain't real. Yeah, because your God ain't real. Says Boje ain't real. He's a man that was unalive years ago by the Most High. But I just want to show y'all, because our brothers and sisters think that stuff sweet out here. They think these people not planning nothing. I'm going to show you. So I just thought, now this one clip I'm going to have, we're not going to go into it long, but I want you to know, because this is for the people that be in the Georgia area. You in Georgia, I'm going to show you something. This one of militias, one of the white militia group. Now this is fair use, okay? So let me get this video.
Peter Piper used the smart buying tools from Amazon Business.
Fair use, though. Fair use. This dang ads be crazy, yo.
Yeah, they be getting their money off them ads.
All right, here we go.
God is good. Let us thank Him for our food. Bow our heads. We are fed. Thank you, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
I want y'all to see where that group was just at. It just told you where it was at. That's Newton County, Georgia.
God is good. God is good. Let us thank Him for our food. Bow our heads. We are fed. Thank you, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Now, what you think what you gonna think? How they gonna feel when they find out that Christ is so-called black man? But check this out.
Our way of life will be preserved and maintained.
Hold on. He said what? Hold on. I got.
People need to take point. Take a good look at the face of the militia and the 3% movement.
Look at the flag.
These are patriots that are not going.
Look at the flag, and I want y'all to see something too. Look
Our position is the people need to take point.
Look at this. Check this out. You got one Jake there, but look at the flag of this Edomite right here in the red. That's literally a Confederate flag. It's madness. But you gonna have stuff like that, and this is
and a lot of the Edomites are veterans too. They so-called come out the military already ready got that training out the military and ready to go on civilians, man.
You know what's? It's so crazy you said that, and I was in this article I just seen. But right, that's the spirit you said that. There's actually a rise in militia groups that's veteran based. But yeah, so let's keep going. This is crazy.
Take a good look at the face of the militia and the 3% movement. These are patriots that are not going to have their rights infringed upon, and our way of life will be preserved and maintained.
So stop. Remember when we first started this class tonight, we said was one of the cause of civil war or civil unrest, and one of the causes was changes in government policies. So he's sitting here letting you know if they feel like their rights are infringed upon, they gonna make things happen. Look what they're doing. They're not like Jake, our people, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American. They're not preparing to go in the streets and march. That's not what they're preparing to do. They're not preparing to go they come with picket signs and yell and scream and sing and dance all day. They're not prepared for that. They're prepared for war. This is war tactic trainings. Let's keep going.
So help us God. Guns up!
I don't want nobody taking my gun rights away from me. I don't want nobody taking my freedom of speech from me. So
understand, when it comes to the so-called white man, he's not like you, so-called black man, so-called black woman. He's not going to go to the streets. They trying to take my rights. Whoop, whoop. No, they bout that. But the point of understanding this is when Esau was pitted against each other, when the Most High got them against each other, and he made one of them people delegate taking somebody else's rights away, Esau was letting you know out his mouth, I'm not going to let that happen. You're not going to take away my speech. You're not going to take away my gun. I'm not going to let it happen. They said guns up and the explosion just happened. This is the energy that they're bringing. Understand this. As this country gets, as time go on, it's getting stretched very thin, and more they're getting pushed apart.
I'll die for that. Hell yeah.
He said he'll die for that. Hell yeah. All right, hold on. I think that's it on that. Now I'm finna bring out this other one. So y'all gotta understand, this is the reality that we live in. These people see what this government is headed to. They see how things is falling apart. They know it, and they just waiting on the time. They're training. They're preparing themselves. They're not preparing they're not preparing to march. They're preparing to go to war. Why you think that they bringing out movies like the movie Civil War? Why you think they doing that? They're to sensitize you with what's to come. They know it's finna come. So now let's go to this one. So this fair use. This is another video showing y'all. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get it all big and stuff. All right, hey, this is the biggest they let me get it. But let's go to this one. Next one. Hold on.
This is footage of a training.
Can y'all see it? This next one.
Yeah, come.
Can y'all hear it?
Event organized by Patriot Front.
Okay. Here we go.
The most active white supremacist groups in the country.
Finish strong.
The group's leader says they aren't violent, but in January, they were found liable for the brutal beating of a black man in Boston. I've been tracking them for some time, and earlier this year, I noticed something in their propaganda. They appear to be using a private compound where they teach recruits and where violent fight clubs are held. The footage we're showing you from inside the compound was shared online by Patriot Front's leaders. I've geolocated several...
Hold on, so we gotta understand, these people are preparing when that, like I said, they prepare to handle business. You think they give a dang about you, Jay? Look what they did. He said they was on Front Street because they beat up a Jay. They beat a brother up. Yes, they beat a brother up. They got a whole compound. They doing fighting training. They got shields. I mean, these people are literally preparing for civil unrest and they preparing for civil war. It's the same thing how they was doing it back then when the Confederates was preparing for to go to war with the Union.
Several of their videos to the same place, a 124-acre property hiding in plain sight outside the town of Tellico Plains in Tennessee. Now, we've asked Patriot Front for access.
They got a 124-acre compound.
They've not gotten back to any of our requests, so we're driving there to see if we can get a better idea of what goes on. The property is managed by Ian Elliott, a leading member of Patriot Front.
It stemmed from some of the same desires that many like-minded, like-blooded people have for an intentional community.
He said like-minded, like-blooded. Like-minded, like-blooded. Don't think that just because they work at your job with you and they be like, man, what you eat for lunch, that they ain't got the same kind of mind as this man. Understand that. And when it's time, like, oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and then I'm gonna get a precept. That's crazy.
Private property, self-sustainable property.
Now, Elliot didn't respond to my request for an interview, but we flew a drone over the site, and our footage revealed several newer structures, including a large gym where fight clubs are held. According to the property deed...
All right, that's it on that. But the point of that, of me bringing this out, is letting you know what I'm saying, that this is what's coming to America. This is what these people are training for. Now, how do we know what's coming to America? Simply by the precepts. So I'm going to get a precept real quick. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Second Ezra 15. And let's start at... Let's start at 14. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. It's letting you know, because why? Because destruction is coming. We have to understand this. They know this, but our people are this too occupied in the next training dance, or the next who gonna be drafted, who going to the Knicks this year. All right, the Knicks gonna run it back. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Spurs, they gonna come back with it. They worry about things like this. Here you got our people acting a fool in New York right now because the Knicks won. Worried about dang is Cardi B gonna get another man after she done got done with old dude? Like, they worry about the most foolish things. When these people are prepared to literally, they're preparing themselves for war. Keep going.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And shall rise against one another with swords in their hands.
Oh, I see what version you got here. It says, I'm gonna read it in the version I got right here. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. So it's letting you know that there is one people that's gonna fight against one another. That's what they're preparing for, and that's what's going to happen in Babylon. This is going to happen. Keep going. Verse 16.
It say, verse 16, for there shall be no constancy with the people. And
okay, hold on. I'm gonna read it with my version. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. What does that mean when it says sedition among men? Let's go to the word sedition very quickly. It's letting you know what's about to happen. The Bible is showing you this is the prophecy that was going to happen. So it says, this is the word sedition. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or a monarch or a government. So you have to understand, according to the Bible, it is letting you know that there's going to come a time where there are going to be people that's going to incite rebellion to the government and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning they're not going to care about the government. They're not going to care about the senators. They're not going to care about the police, none of that. Their whole agenda is to protect their rights and whatever they believe in. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning whatever they got the power to do, they're going to do it. And I'm going to jump down to verse 18. It says this, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. One of the things that we talked about concerning civil war and civil unrest is division and pride. So the Bible says, because of their pride, the cities are going to be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So it's going to be infighting going to be going on. It's going to be destruction going on. It's going to be rioting, anarchy, chaos. And these people are training and preparing themselves just for that moment. You know, read verse 19. I'm going to yield with that. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So they're going to be ransacking their neighbors' houses. They're going to be doing all kind of manner of diabolical wickedness just to make it because of the tribulation, because of the famine. But I yield.
All praise. A lot of our brothers and sisters, Israelites is going, and they ain't gonna have no chance in that day. All right. Once these militia groups rise up, and you ain't in the Lord, and you ain't keeping the commandments, and you ain't gathering with your brethren, you don't know what's going on, you're gonna get caught off guard out there, man, in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A lot of our people gonna get caught off guard because, like you say, they caught up with what's going on with the New York Knicks, social media. What's the next big dance coming out? We too busy worried about what's going on there. But when these white militias hit the green light, hey, all hell is gonna break loose in America. All hell is gonna break loose in America. So you give me a precept. I'm gonna get one precept. Give me 1 Corinthians 1 and 10.
This book, 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 10.
And we talking about the Israelites right now. We know it's civil unrest coming, but we're going to tell y'all what y'all need to be doing. Read.
Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing.
We all speak the same thing. That is with keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and believing on Yahushua Christ. Read.
And that there be no divisions among you.
What God don't want between the 12 tribes?
And that there be no divisions. No divisions among you.
No divisions among you. So you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you got to come together in these last days. There should be no division because you get caught in this divided mirror clay and this iron, which this Babylon the Great is spearing out. You get caught up on one side of this, hey, you bound to perish. All right, you bound to perish. Keep reading. Read the next verse. Let me see what it say.
But that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
In the same mind and the same judgment. We know the judgment is going into the laws. Same mind means the same spirit of Yahushua, which the law, statutes, and commandments, and being righteous and upright. We got to be in that same spirit and that mind in these last days if we want to overcome this, because we got a Lord that'll fight for us. We ain't really got to pick up nothing. Our Lord can take these people out with. Hey, man, the Lord did some things in the Old Testament where he took people out for his people. We don't have to fight. All right. We got a Lord that'll fight for us, but you got to be on the right side of the Lord first. You can't just be out there doing your own thing and then praying to the Lord, thinking He gonna come and rescue you out of harm's way. But I yield, King.
Con, that's right. That's right. I mean, brothers had anything else, man? We can get some closing precepts and get ready to close out.
No, I'm good, King.
Con.
Pay attention to these movies, man. They trying to tell y'all what's going on, man. What you got? They started like in what? You remember the movie where Ice Cube was in? Triple X, the second Triple X. You got the second G.I. Joe, and then I think it's the third Purge. And then the movie Civil War. Yeah, they letting y'all, they don't put this stuff in these movies for nothing, bro. They letting y'all know what's about to crack. So it's up to you whether you pay attention or not. So, I just hope all people just come out of this stupidity, man, and just, get on the right side of the Most High. Because we forming militias, that shit ain't gonna work, dog. Excuse my French, but man, the Most High ain't trying to go for that. He wants you to he want his people to depend on him. Let him fight our battles. So with that, I yield.
Con, that's right. My closing precept, I'm gonna get this second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 71. Now I'm gonna start at verse 73. It says, then, huh? Now I'm gonna read. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So we got to remember that the elect, God's chosen people, the one that's going to get saved, 1/3, and they going to be tried as gold in the fire. We have to understand that. And that trial and the tribulations, they are on the way. They are coming. So you got to get your spirit right with the Lord, be diligent, be sincere in this thing, and trying to increase as much as you can. Verse 74, hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. But understand with the same breath that the Most High going to deliver his elect, he going to deliver his chosen. And with that, I yield.
All praises. Hey, all right, hit the email down here below. We need brethren, like-minded brethren, to step up to the plate and fight this battle that we're doing. We need brothers to go out and preach to the four corners of the earth to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel in these last days. Hey, if you want to donate to us, you can hit the Cash App. All the money is going into the ministry for us to build up the ministry and go teach the gospel. All right. Anything else, brethren?
So with that, as always, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shemi Shai, his brother Yah,
Brother Elijah,
brother Ash.
Shalom.